Great evening, everybody. How are you? I am doing amazing. I'm sitting outside in my backyard for one of the first times this summer, and it's pretty late in the evening. I can hear kids in that direction playing at the pool, having fun. I can hear birds chirping. I wanted to come and take a moment to talk about self awareness, the ability to be aware of self and how we're actually showing up and the impact that it has on others. Before I went to therapy about 2 years ago, I thought that I was pretty good. I thought I was really good with my ability to be self-aware and to self-reflect. And then I went to therapy. And I began to discuss a lot of emotional discomfort that I had been living with. And I began to read books that were recommended for me and watch educational videos on YouTube about healing and emotional well-being and mental well-being. And as I went on this journey of healing, I learned that I was not as self-aware as I thought I was. I learned that I did not have the ability to self-reflect as well as I thought I did. And as a result of that, I learned that my inability to self-reflect and have true self-awareness, I was having a negative impact on myself, but consequently, I was having a negative impact on my daughter as well. And all of the feelings and emotions, all of that emotional discomfort that I was suppressing, I was unknowingly transferring it to my daughter. And it took me almost 19 years of being a parent before I realized that I was unintentionally transferring the emotional discomfort, the feelings that I was suppressing and holding back. It took me almost 19 years to realize that I was transferring all of that pain and discomfort to my daughter. And I was doing that because I didn't realize that I was hurting and that I had emotional wounds that needed to be dealt with, that needed attention, that needed healing. So it caused me to transfer it to my daughter. But what I've realized is that not only did I transfer it to my daughter, it was transferred to me. And in life, as parents, we tend to transfer what we don't address onto our children because we don't take the time to heal it, to resolve it, to repair it, to make it better. So there are many unhealthy habits and coping mechanisms that we as parents have that we transfer to our children because we're too busy coping with unhealthy coping mechanisms. And sometimes they look healthy as well, but we're too busy coping to realize the impact that we're having on ourselves and our children. And sometimes those healthy coping mechanisms look like working, overworking, being like a workaholic, being a perfectionist, trying to make sure that everything and everybody is and or looks perfect. Some unhealthy coping mechanisms may be smoking weed. That was one of my unhealthy coping mechanisms. Drinking alcohol was another unhealthy coping mechanism that I had. Allowing myself to be treated poorly in relationships. And those coping mechanisms, they further cause harm to self because they reinforce that negative belief that I had about myself. So it wasn't until I went to therapy to really learn and understand about the emotional wounds that I had and started doing the work to heal myself in those wounds that I began to get better. And as I went to therapy and did my work to get better, now there is an opportunity for me to transfer healing to my daughter. A version of me that doesn't suppress my feelings and emotions. A version of me that is self-aware and able to self-reflect and be more aware of the impact I'm having on others and how I show up in the world as a result of being able to look deeply into myself and at myself, my language, my behavior, my attitude, my energy, all of me, to realize that the way that I think about myself, the beliefs that I have about myself, the way I value myself, as parents, we transfer. There's an invisible transfer that happens. We transfer those mindsets, those thoughts, those beliefs, those habits to our children. And it's really, really important that we learn how to self-reflect so that we can change what we transfer onto our children.